it looks like human beings have some knowledge, they've gained it, somehow they got it, and then they start using that knowledge in their everyday lives. So humans, it appears, know many things. And what they know, it helps them do things in everyday life. Okay? And these statements are not empty statements. Human intelligence in general is not purely based on reflex reasoning, okay, on the fly reasoning. No, it does happen. You come across a situation, you're driving a car, and suddenly somebody pops in front of your car, okay, and you obviously you react without thinking and you put on your brakes. This is reflex reasoning. Okay. By the way, if you remember, this has led to the development of what we call as anti-lock brakes in automobiles. Because as a reflex action to that happening, you actually, out of panic, you simply jam your brakes. And actually, they lock the brakes. So instead of just stopping the car tries to roll around. And that's where this anti-lock brake system was designed not to lock the car, but stop it. A human intelligence in general is not based on reflexive reasoning. It is actually systematic. We are very systematic in many things. Of course, it just doesn't happen overnight. We learn, we teach, we are taught. So we learn about systematic reasoning. And that operates on the internal knowledge that we have. And there are two types of knowledge. One is a general knowledge. And we've discussed elsewhere a general knowledge, Earth is a sphere, okay? Sun is part of the solar system. Sky is blue. This is a general piece of information, right? And everybody knows about these things. What is the capital of Pakistan, for instance, okay? What is the highest mountain peak in the world? So this is piece of general knowledge. And remember also, somewhere else it declarative knowledge. And then there's domain-specific knowledge. Domain-specific knowledge in general, of course, is subject area. Domain-specific knowledge is a well-focused subject area. Okay. For instance, medical domain. Okay, medical domain is a specific domain in the medical region. Engineering domain, and then sub-domains within that: electrical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and so forth. So these are general domains, specific domains. Business domain, people who know how to do business. Education domain, so educationists, people working in the universities, okay, have a fairly good knowledge about this education domain. When it comes to knowledge, basically we said that it's understanding of a subject area. But there are two types of essential knowledge at the very high level. One which tells you what is that, okay? The description of concepts, and the term used previously, declarative knowledge. And this is static, okay? It declares certain information. The other type of knowledge or information is procedural, okay? Like recipes, how to do certain things. And there is a sequence of steps to do that, okay? So we're talking about two things. One is the declarative knowledge or static knowledge, which doesn't change, remains, okay? And the other is the procedural knowledge, how to do things, okay? And how to also is related to experience also, okay? What or that, okay, which is the static knowledge, you can read as well. You can learn, by memorizing. But the expertise, how to do things, most of physical life, you have to learn to do it. So anyway, so declarative knowledge is static. Concepts, facts, objects. Since, as I said, it's static in nature, sun rises in the east, okay, sets in the west. As I said, Earth is a sphere, and so forth. Fish do not have legs. So this is static and declarative knowledge. It provides necessary information about the problem that we're trying to solve. Simple statements, of course, and with a truth value, true or false. Natural languages are also declarative. English, Urdu, Spanish are very expressive indeed, very expressive. And we managed to write books in natural languages with only occasional reference to other languages, like maths, arithmetic, algebra, and so forth. And natural language, therefore, is also considered as a declarative knowledge. What is it? Okay. Natural language is also viewed as a representation language for declarative knowledge, as I said. Okay. Now, if somehow we could uncover the rules of natural languages, okay, and we could use it to represent for representation and reasoning systems and understand the natural language, we could benefit from the billions of pages that have been written in natural languages. So that is static declarative knowledge. Let's come to the other one, which is procedural knowledge. How to do it. And this derives information based on actions, rules, strategies, agendas, procedures, and how to solve a problem. It directs a series of steps that you need to take to solve that problem. For example, a computer program, food recipe, going somewhere. Very interesting example will help you understand this. You want to ride a bicycle. We all wanted to. And we've all learned how to do it. Now, when someone is trying to teach you that this is how you ride a bike, okay, and you try to even memorize it, that won't help you ride a bike yourself. No. So that's a theoretical kind of information which you're putting in your mind, okay. But unless and until you try it out and you fail a few times, you don't get the hang of it, okay. So once you figure it out, then it quickly becomes part of it, as you call it, as a second nature or implicit knowledge, okay. It goes back into the mind. Driving a car, for instance, you may score very well in your theoretical exam, 100%. What are the traffic rules? How to brake in rain? How not to do this? How not to do that? You may have scored 100%. And yet you may not be able to drive the car because you have not actually driven a car. You have not experienced that mechanism, okay? So the thing you're trying to say is you need to understand procedural knowledge before being able to drive the car. And this will only happen with trial and error. So only declarative knowledge is not enough for you to be able to drive the car. Examples related to domain knowledge. I mean, you're trying to build a timetable at a college or a university. A typical rule or knowledge is that you start with assigning classes to your first year freshman people before you assign to the seniors and sophomores and so forth. So scheduling in a university, trying to reach, let's say, a city, okay, that's domain knowledge. You take the aeroplane. So these are those general pieces of knowledge, and of course, procedural knowledge.